آورده. بعد خب بالاخره وقتی آب توی این منطقه میاد بقیه مناطق هم آبگیرتر میشن، یعنی اون بخش دیگه هم آبگیرتر میشه. بخش بعدی رو اومده زهکشی کرده، آبها رو برده به سمت حالا مسیرها و رودخانه ها. شما اگه دقت کنید ما بهش هم میگیم باغ، نمیگیم جنگل، چون دست ساخت انسانه. پیش از این که اصلا شیراز به این شکل معروف باشه، اصلا باغ در ماهیت این شهر وجود نداشته. انگار طبیعت هم انگار خودشو دوباره شناخته. یعنی کاری که انسان در شهر شیراز کرده، موهبت خداوند رو که حالا ساخت باغ در این میشه گفتش که در هست رو ایجاد کرده. شما الان سال هاست که شیراز رو با اسم باغ میشناسید. باغ یعنی بخشش خداوند بر روی زمین، یعنی انسان با هماهنگیش با طبیعت در شهر شیراز، و میتونم حالا ثابت کنم در بقیه شهرهای ایران، کاری کرده که طبیعت هم به گونه دیگری خودش رو شناخته. یعنی یه امتزاجی که ما و طبیعت با هم در واقع برگرفتیم و واقعا حالا در یک معنای اون تعبیر کیهان شناسی که بخشی از روح خداوند بر روی زمین بودیم رو اومدیم شکل دادیم. این خیلی متفاوت هست، یعنی حضور ما در این مجموعه بسیار متفاوت میتونه باشه. کما اینکه اون چشمه آب مقدسی که روبروی کاخ فیروزآباد هست الان سالهاست، اون نبوده که سالهاست ولی همچنان بقا داره. بنابراین ما میتونیم بگیم که حضور ما به عنوان یک انسانی که تجربه زیسته متفاوتی با طبیعت داره شاید بتونه بیوفیلیا رو ارتقای دیگری بده یا از جنبه دیگری بتواند در واقع با بیوفیلیا برخورد کنه. خیلی متشکرم ازتون. با توجه به اینکه مهمان ارزشمندمون آمدن و زمان من هم تموم شده و بحثم هم تقریبا تمام شده، اول که سلام میکنم خدمتشون. Hi Mrs. Nuria.
Hi, Maryam. Good afternoon. Salam, everyone.
Salam. Salam. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome and thank you that you come to speak for us about the biophilia and the economy. We're eager to hear you.
It's a pleasure, Maryam, and
thank
you all of you for inviting me. I'm going to share my screen before I start talking. So let's see if this works. I already.
It's good.
Yes,
thank you.
It's working. Is it working for you?
Not yet. I think we have to wait a couple of minutes.
Okay.
Or seconds, sorry. Yeah, sure.
Good.
خیلی ممنونم دکتر اختیاری عزیز. ممنون از وقتی که گذاشتیم. یاد گرفتیم واقعا. در بخش آخر از خانم مونوز درخواست میکنیم که در واقع بخش آخر رو که در رابطه با اقتصاد و معماری بایوفیلیک و طراحی بایوفیلیک هستش در خدمتشون باشیم. و دوستان اگر که در واقع ما سعی میکنیم در اون بخش آخر یک جمع‌بندی فارسی از صحبت‌های ایشون داشته باشیم که انشالله همه چیز برای تمامی دوستان واضح و کمک کننده باشه. در این بخش درخواست میکنم که خانم مونوز در واقع ارائهشون رو داشته باشن. I'm going to pin you pin your picture to this screen so that we can have everything that you're sharing. Unfortunately, we haven't received your file yet. Maybe you to represent it. You can also share it and we can present it here as you wish.
Okay, I will present it myself. Let's see if this works. Sure. Let me know if it's working. Just
sure.
Want to see, are you being able to see it?
Yes, right now.
Yes, it is now working.
Yeah, it's working now.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, awesome. So, first of all, I want to say salam, good afternoon to everyone and welcome. I want to start by extending my sincere thanks to Shiraz University, the Techlab and the Student Scientific Association for this wonderful invitation. Special thank to Dr. Kaveh Fattahi for making this opportunity possible. It's an honor to be here with you, whether you've joined us in person or virtually. My name is Nuria Munoz, and I'm specialized in biophilic design, the art and science of integrating nature into the built environment to create healthier, more engaging, and life-enhancing spaces. I've had a privilege of working with numerous. I will share. So the next hour before I start with the presentation, I will talk about different things, and I will give you a little dive into what biophilic design is as well. So what we are going to be focusing today is how does biophilic design create tangible financial value? How can these benefits be measured and communicated effectively to stakeholders? And also, most importantly, how does investing in nature-based design yield long-term returns in areas like productivity, energy saving, health, and property value? So before starting with the presentation, I firstly want to introduce myself. My work is divided in these fields. I'm the owner of Habitarmonia studio, where we design and consult biophilic design spaces. And then my passion to inspire and educate and advocate about biophilic design and well-being design brought me to found Habitarmonia Academy, where we're leading a 12-week course on biophilic and well-being design, and where we help professionals like you not to only understand the science behind biophilic design, but also master it and teach how to demonstrate this return on investment situations. We have founded also a global platform called Habitarmonia Ecosystem for professionals in the built environment globally, such designers, interior designers, architects, landscapers, etc. And the purpose of it is to connect and learn from different sciences on well-being design and collaborate to advance this in the sector to create spaces that are good for health and well-being and for the occupants and the planet. Well, I'm just going to show you some of my activities and some of the achievements and collaborations that we have been winning the last year. So we've been building award-winning studio dedicated to biophilic and well-being design. We co-founded the Biophilic Society and have collaborated on prestigious events like the Science in Design Summit, alongside globally renowned experts such as Bill Browning, Don Ruggles, and Dr. Anjan Chatterjee, leaders in science-based design innovation and neuroarchitecture. Our contributions have also extended to the Good Soil Earth in the Global South conference and the Regenerative Leadership course, where we've been honored to participate as keynote speakers. We've also shared insights globally as guests on leading podcasts, seminars, and conferences. And today I have the opportunity to be here with you and share some of our insights. So let's move into the agenda for today. So in this webinar, we will uncover the powerful synergy between biophilic design and economic growth. So we will start by understanding what are the basics of biophilic design, and then going to understand the direct and indirect economic benefits of biophilic design across various sectors. We will also learn to effectively communicate the financial and well-being advantages of biophilic design to stakeholders. We will explore real-world examples and case studies that highlight the return on investment and cost savings of biophilic interventions. And we will gain strategies for quantifying the long-term financial benefits of biophilic design using data and metrics. So this is the agenda for today. I've been going through it with learning objectives, and I would say let's dive into the first part of this presentation. So I will start with the story of disconnection. We think that all humans before us in other eras are less developed than we are now. But how? For example, were the pyramids built? How come indigenous tribes know exactly how to work with the galaxies? And could that not have to be and do with the connection we are increasingly losing by focusing entirely on our technology? We are in an ever-changing world, and that we are buried with information on how it can all be improved. And right now, it is important to tune into yourself. to discover the energy of the customers to ensure that you can get the well-being back in the necessary spaces. And as you can see here, there is plenty of data and numbers that show what it does to humans to be disconnected from nature, from having more and more industrialized spaces, having more cities, having more stress, all the way to a loss of biodiversity. The situation is quite critical now. And thanks to neuroscience, we know that our brain perceives only 5% of our surroundings consciously, and the other 95% affects us unconsciously. So our brain has the capacity to either boost or limit ourselves by our surroundings. And on average, individuals are spending about additionally in many spaces and resulting in significant limits to their exposure to natural light and fresh air. This indoor lifestyle has various health implications, including increased levels of stress, sleep disturbances, and respiratory issues due to poor indoor air quality. So why is well-being important? It helps us with our overall health, building stronger relationships, improving creativity and productivity, and also have a better resilience. No, well-being is all about feeling good about yourself in your body, mind, and soul, and feeling an overall satisfaction.
Sorry to interrupt. You can keep going. That's all right.
Yes, okay. Please continue.
Okay. I couldn't understand, so I don't know what was going on. Okay. So as I said, why is well-being important? So because there are many issues going on, and we have also, I was there, a greater resilience and improved life satisfaction. So the spaces we inhabit can also have a significant impact on our well-being. So ask yourself these questions. When do I have connection with nature? Did you think about that? How many times a day do you go to nature? How many times a week? What is your connection with nature? Think about that. And as Stephen Keller, which was an American ecologist known for his pioneering work in biophilia and biophilic design, he said, "We will never be truly healthy, satisfied, or fulfilled if we live apart and alienated from the environment from which we evolved." So this brings us to the biophilia hypothesis, which suggests that we have an innate affinity with life and life processes. We find our deepest harmony when we connect with nature, not only from a cognitive and physiological perspective, but also in our social dynamics. The Greek term biophilia is composed of two words, bio, meaning life, and philia, meaning love. When combined, biophilia literally translates to love for life. It reflects our innate desire to connect with living systems and natural elements, and as designers, we can channel this love into our work. So biophilic design translates this love into the built environment, and so it is a bridge between design, nature, and well-being, aiming to create spaces that truly connect us with the natural world. So biophilic design is the intentional use of natural elements and patterns and experiences to create spaces that feel more natural and inviting. And this fosters a sense of connection and harmony between humans and the environment, boosting our health and our well-being. So biophilic design is not just a trend, as many people might think. It is a recognition and understanding of our fundamental need for nature in our lives. So that was a brief introduction to what biophilic design is. For those interested in diving deeper into its principles and applications, etc., etc., I invite you to explore one of our courses or connect to us where we covered it extensively. Now, I would like to focus to the why and how of this approach. How biophilic design goes beyond aesthetics to deliver measurable, tangible benefits that transform spaces and lives. Whether it's faster recovery rates in hospitals, increased productivity in offices, or enhanced customer engagement in retail, biophilic design offers proven results that extend far beyond visual appeal. So let's break these benefits down one by one to see how biophilic design positively impacts physical health, psychological well-being, cognitive performance, social connections, environmental sustainability, and, of course, financial or economic outcomes. So together, these dimensions showcase how biophilic design is not just a tool for well-being, but also a strategic for profitability and long-term success. First, let's start with the physical benefits. Biophilic design impacts people's health in a significant way. We're talking about reduced stress, lower blood pressure, and improved cardiovascular health. For healthcare settings, the benefits are even more pronounced, with faster recovery times and lower pain levels in patients. This is amazing. Think about the space that you've designed. How can these elements be integrated to promote better health outcomes? So have you noticed a difference in how people interact with spaces that use more natural light, for example, or incorporate plants? These seemingly very small elements are proven to make a real impact on physical health. But it's not only about plants and light. Moving to the psychological benefits, biophilic design has been shown to improve mood, reduce anxiety, and even combat depression. It enhances creativity and overall emotional well-being. These are not just soft benefits, they directly influence how people feel and perform in space. When designing for work environments, for instance, or even hospitality, we need to think about how to reduce stress and increase happiness through the space itself. So, how do you currently integrate these psychological elements in your projects? Whether it's a view of nature or calming textures, these design choices can make a substantial difference. Next, let's talk about the cognitive benefits. And as you all are here at the university, this is an important one to know. This is where biophilic design really shines in the workplace. Increased focus, better mental restoration, and higher productivity are just some of the outcomes. In offices, for instance, incorporating natural elements can lead to a measurable boost in productivity, up to 11% more in biophilic designed spaces. This is quite something. This also applies to schools, where students perform better in environments that integrate natural elements. And so, for those of you working on corporate or biophilic design to directly impact cognitive performance. Biophilic design also promotes social interaction and bonding, reducing aggression and even crime in urban settings. Public spaces, parks, and even office common areas that incorporate natural elements foster stronger social cohesion. This is particularly relevant when designing for community spaces or workplaces that prioritize collaboration. And the right design can create an environment where people feel more connected to each other, reducing feelings of isolation. Now, let's focus on the environmental benefits. One of the key advantages of biophilic design is its contribution to sustainability and regeneration. Natural lighting and ventilation can reduce energy consumption significantly, cutting down on a building's carbon footprint. Additionally, biophilic design encourages sustainability through fostering a connection to the environment. For those of you working with clients who will prioritize eco-friendly designs, biophilic design can be a powerful selling point. And now, the part that many of you will be most interested in, economic benefits. Biophilic design isn't just about well-being. It's a financially sound investment. Offices see productivity increases, retail spaces report higher sales, and hospitals experience faster recovery times, which reduces operational costs. In the long run, incorporating biophilic elements increases profitability, improves tenant satisfaction, and enhances brand value. These are all measurable returns that can help you make the business case to your clients. Let's
I'm sorry, I think you accidentally muted yourself. Would you please turn on your microphone?
Yes.
You can find it somewhere in the bottom of the screen, I guess.
Okay. I did it. Somehow it just okay. So did you hear my last slide or yes? Where did you stop?
When we got to this slide, we just lost you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll start from here. Okay, great, awesome. I didn't do anything, but somehow it happened. So let's start looking at the measurable impact of biophilic design in workspaces. There is clear data showing that integrating natural elements into offices boosts not just well-being, but also performance. Let me share some key figures with you. Offices with biophilic design see an average of 11% increase in productivity. By the way, all this data is science-backed, so there are many papers that we have used to deliver and to use and to create this presentation. So performance improves by 3.9% and creativity is boosted by 5%. Employees are more satisfied with their jobs with a 7.4% higher job satisfaction rate. And even overall life quality improves by 8.2%. These are significant numbers that can make a real difference to the business you design for. It's not just about making spaces look beautiful. Biophilic design contributes, as we already seen, to tangible improvements in employee well-being and performance, which in turn leads to better financial outcomes for the organization. Now, let's move to schools, where biophilic design can have a profound impact also on both students and teachers. The learning environment plays a crucial role in how students perform, and introducing nature-inspired elements helps boost cognitive function and learning outcomes. Here's what the research shows. I'll give you some of the data. So schools with biophilic elements see a 20 to 26% increase in the speed of learning. It's quite amazing. Test scores improve by 5 to 14%, and that's a significant jump in academic performance. Beyond academics, there is a 20% increase in student involvement in classroom activities. And for children with ADHD, with attention disorder, there is a 15% greater ability to concentrate, which is a game changer for many educators. So these numbers tell us that incorporating biophilic design in educational spaces doesn't just create pleasant classrooms, it directly impacts how students learn and engage. For any school project you're going to work on, or you might work on, all information that you normally share when you're going to pitch a project. Now, let's look at hospitals and healthcare settings, where biophilic design is especially impactful. Healthcare environments that incorporate nature, whether it's the use of greenery, natural light, or calming materials, help both patients and staff feel more at ease, leading to faster recovery times and better overall satisfaction. And here are again some key figures. I'll just mention two of them. So patients experience a 12.4% higher environmental satisfaction when biophilic elements are integrated into hospitals. They feel less stress, anxiety levels drop down. There is a 22% reduction in the use of pain care medication. This comes already from the amazing work of Dr. Ulrich in the 1980s. And there is speed recovery, which is increasing around 8.5%, etc., etc. So the healing power of nature in hospitals is undeniable, enhancing the patient experience and contributing to better health outcomes. Now let's shift to the retail sector, where biophilic design not only enhances customer experience, but also drives significant financial returns. So in retail environments, creating an inviting space that encourages customers to explore and stay longer directly impacts sales and profitability. Retail spaces that incorporate biophilic design have a 15 to 25% potential to increase revenue per item and see an overall 15 to 20% increase in profit. These spaces also command 7 to 8% higher rents, making them more valuable to landlords and property managers. When biophilic design elements are added, customers slow down. They take the walking speed is lower. It's being reduced by 12.2%, leading to a 28.8% increase in the number of people entering the store. So you can imagine the more people that enter, the slower it goes, the more they buy. The rates of exploration increased by 139%, meaning customers are more likely to browse and discover more products. So all these statistics show how biophilic design in retail environments are not just a nice to have. They have a direct driver on higher sales, longer customer engagement, and increased store profitability. Now let's go to hospitality before we lead to homes. In the hospitality sector, biophilic design creates environments that are not only more appealing to guests, but also significantly boost the financial performance of hotels and resorts. So it can go up to 23% higher room rates when we're introducing biophilic design, or in hotel lobbies, for instance, where first impression matter most, we see guests staying 30% longer in these spaces compared to traditional lobbies. And this means in consuming more, for instance, or booking something at the lobby. So there are many benefits for integrating biophilic design in the hospitality sector as well. So as you see, beyond financials, biophilic design boosts guest mood and perception of well-being, enhancing their overall experience and increasing the likelihood of repeating bookings. And when it comes to residential spaces, biophilic design is gaining popularity. And while we may not have as much concrete data yet, we're seeing impressive feedback from clients and designers alike. I can tell you from firsthand, I have designed several homes, and the results after 6 months are amazing. Many of my colleagues as well, who specialize in biophilic home design, are consistently hearing the same benefits from their clients. Here are some of the key results we are seeing. So the clients are having an instant connection with nature. They're reporting immediate calming effect as soon as they integrate these elements into their homes. They have a higher work performance and better concentration. For instance, if they have a home office, they can control their environment better. They feel more in control of their personal spaces, and they create a tailored atmosphere that meets their specific needs. They boost in productivity. They have an holistic approach to interior design, so it encourages a more comprehensive view of the home spaces, focusing on well-being and connection to nature. And it's created a cocoon at home. And many clients describe their redesigned homes as a cocoon, a sanctuary, a nice space to live where they feel safe, relaxed, and recharged. Even though we're still got gathering data, the consistent feedback shows that biophilic design has a powerful impact on how people feel and perform in their own homes. And now let's go to measuring and explaining the economic benefits of biophilic design. So before we go and dive into the specifics of how biophilic design impacts different sectors, let's take a moment to talk about why it's essential to understand not only the economic benefits, but also how to measure and communicate those benefits to your clients. So all of us as designers and architects, we know the beauty and well-being that biophilic design brings to space. But to make a persuasive case, especially when you're pitching to decision makers, stakeholders, business owners, whatever, whatever the decision maker it is, you need the numbers. And you need to show not just that biophilic design is good and feels good and it performs good and all the benefits we've talked, but it's important also to show those numbers. And why is it important? Because today's clients aren't just looking for aesthetically pleasing spaces. They're looking for spaces that deliver measurable results. And they want to know how will this improve productivity or reduce cost in the office, or how this boosts customer engagement and sales in retail, or how will this improve patient recovery times in a hospital? So the answer lies in understanding and explaining the ROE, the return on investment. When you can clearly lay out the KPIs, which are called the key performance indicators, that demonstrate the financial benefits, you can show clients that this is more than just a design trend. You're providing them with a design solution that will help them achieve tangible business goals. And we're going to look at several sectors right now: offices, education, retail, healthcare, hospitality, and community. And you will see, and we'll show you how biophilic design impacts these spaces. But more importantly, I'll highlight the specific metrics that you can track, measure, and communicate to your clients. This is something very important that not many people know about. This will help you pitch biophilic design not just as a concept, but as a proven measure and a proven investment that delivers measurable long-term benefits. This table from Ryan et al. From 2023 summarizes how biophilic design can drive positive outcomes across various sectors by addressing health, well-being, and financial performance. The table breaks down into two main categories: health and well-being impacts and financial impacts, both direct and indirect. Each sector, such for example the offices, experiences unique benefits that contribute to improved performance and profitability. For instance, in office settings, biophilic design can enhance productivity and reduce absenteeism, which directly influences employee retention and reduces churn. Indirectly, it can also impact talent acquisition, health claims, and overall employee satisfaction. And similarly in education, for instance, and you can see that biophilic environments can boost attention and learning rates, which might lead to improved test scores and graduation rates. Each sector experiences biophilic design benefits uniquely, in a unique way, whether through improved healing rates in healthcare, higher guest satisfaction in hospitality, or increased public safety perception in communities. So in the following slides, we are going to explore each sector to understand how biophilic design translates into these specific health and financial outcomes, both directly and indirectly. So in offices, for instance, biophilic design directly impacts productivity, absenteeism, and staff retention. This is something that you have to take into account when we're talking to your stakeholder. And a healthier work environment means employees are not only present, but present and engaged and performing better. Reduced absenteeism and lower staff churn translate into real financial savings for businesses. And the indirect benefits, like attracting top talent and improving employee satisfaction boost the company's reputation and reduce costs related to recruitment and health claims. So together, this creates a clear return on investment for any business. The key KPIs to track include, first of all, absenteeism rates. And this means are fewer employees taking sick days? Then employee retention. Is there less turnover and associated hiring cost? And thirdly, productivity metrics. So are employees more productive and effective? So by improving these three KPIs, companies will save on costs and increase productivity, leading to a measurable return on investment. It's a win-win situation. Biophilic design in schools directly improves attention and learning rates, which are measurable through better test scores and reduced absenteeism. These immediate benefits create a more focused learning environment, which boosts academic performance. And indirectly, biophilic schools see improved graduation rates, which enhances the school's reputation and attracts more students. Higher enrollment and performance metrics directly contribute to better funding and long-term sustainability. And the key KPIs to focus on are test scores. So are students performing better academically? Absenteeism. Are students attending a school more consistently? And graduation rates. Is there an improvement in overall graduation rates? So tracking these KPIs will improve and will provide the school actually with concrete evidence that biophilic design creates a better learning environment. And this is how you communicate. When you were asking them, do you want that your students perform better academically, or do you want that your students attend a school more consistently? These are the KPIs that you can track with biophilic design. In retail, the direct benefits of biophilic design include increased customer attention, higher sales, and improved brand perception. When customers feel more relaxed and connected to the space, they spend more time and money, increasing the store's profitability. And indirectly, biophilic design leads to repeat patronage, social media attention, and brand loyalty, which helps to build a long-term customer relationship and increase exposure of that store. The key KPIs to measure here in retail are the dwell time, so are customers spending more time in the store? Sales per square foot or meter, are sales increasing after biophilic design is implemented? And then customer retention. Are customers returning to the store more frequently? So retailers can see a clear return on investment when with these KPIs are improving, and as longer dwell times and higher sales translate directly into increased profits. So this is also an amazing way of tracking how biophilic design is working on in retail. In healthcare, biophilic design offers direct benefits by improving patient healing rates. Remember about Dr. Ulrich's research, and reducing the need for medication, allowing hospitals to achieve faster patient turnover and lower operational costs. This directly improves the hospital's efficiency and bottom line. So indirectly, biophilic design enhances staff retention and visitor perception, boosting overall patient satisfaction and the hospital's reputation, which can attract more patients and funding. Some of the key KPIs to measure in healthcare are patient recovery times, so are patients healing faster in biophilic spaces, or medication use, or patient satisfaction scores, like are satisfaction levels improving or not. So by improving these KPIs, these measurements, healthcare facilities can reduce costs, increase throughput, and improve overall reputation, leading to a measurable return on investment. In hospitality, for instance, biophilic design directly increases room rates and guest dwell time. So guests want to stay longer in those spaces. Guests are willing to pay more also and spend longer in spaces that feel comfortable and connected to nature, which immediately boosts revenue through higher ADRs, that means average daily rates, and RevPAR, revenue per available room. Indirect benefits include brand loyalty, social media attention, and repeat bookings, which lead to a long-term success and growth for hotels and resorts. So the key KPIs to track here are the room rates, so answering questions like, are guests willing to pay more for biophilic design rooms? Or dwell time, are guests spending more time in common areas like the lobby or restaurants? Or guest satisfaction and rebooking the rates, are guests returning or leaving better reviews? And by improving these KPIs, hotels will see a higher return on investment through increased rates, longer stays, and more repeat guests. And finally, communities. In community design, biophilic spaces offer direct financial benefits by increasing real estate values and reducing crime rates. These safer, more attractive environments also boost local economies through tourism and investment. And indirectly, biophilic communities create long-term benefits such as improved health, public health, enhanced climate resilience, and greater equity, making them more sustainable and adaptable over time. The key KPIs to track for cities or urban spaces are the real estate values, the crime rates, so are crime rates lower in biophilic communities, the tourism and investment, so are more people visiting or investing in these areas, and by improving these KPIs, communities will see a higher return on investment through enhanced property values, reduced crime, and greater investment in the local economy. In every sector, biophilic design provides a clear return on investment, as we have seen, whether it's through increased productivity in offices, improved academic outcomes in schools, or higher sales in retail. The key is to focus on the KPIs that matter, as we've talked about, those that directly measure the impact of biophilic elements on performance, health, and profitability. And these KPIs, key performance indicators, allow you to show your clients the measured value of biophilic design, making it easier to justify the investment and demonstrate long-term benefits. So now that we've looked at the specific benefits of biophilic design across different sectors, it is essential to understand how you communicate these benefits to your clients and stakeholders. Whether you're talking to a school principal, for instance, or a corporate leader or developer, knowing how to connect economic returns with the human benefits of biophilic design is what will make you win that project or not. So let's go through the steps of how to create a compelling case, one that resonates with both the financial minds and the well-being advocates in the room. So first of all, we have to lead with numbers. We have to talk about numbers. Stakeholders always want to know how this will impact their bottom line. So always start by presenting the hard numbers, like the return on investment and KPIs that clearly demonstrate the economic impact of biophilic design. For example, if you're presenting to a business owner, mention how biophilic workspaces lead to a 11% productivity increase and a reduction in absenteeism. You might say something like, for example, for every day an employee stays healthy and productive, you are saving on lost work hours and avoiding the costly cycle, firing and training replacements. Or if you're working on a retail project, present the fact that biophilic stores experience 279% increased dwell time, leading to a significant boost in sales. Clients really want to hear concrete numbers that connect directly to their revenue. And why is this important? Because business and institutions make decisions based on measurable outcomes. And when you can show them this clear data, like reduced absenteeism, increased customer retention, higher sales per square foot, etc., they're more likely to see biophilic design as a smart financial investment. Once you've covered the financials, the next step is to emphasize the well-being benefits of biophilic design and how those tie into economic performance. Here's where you explain that well-being drives financial success. For instance, in a corporate setting, a happier and healthier workforce leads to better performance, higher productivity, and lower turnover. So you might say, when employees feel good about their work environment, when they're less stressed and more engaged, performance improves, which directly affects profitability. In schools, you can point out how improved attention and learning outcomes due to biophilic elements lead to better test scores and graduation rates, which can enhance the institution's reputation and attract more funding or enrollment. And why is this important? But it's not just about making people feel good. It's about showing that well-being impacts business's performance. Healthy, satisfied people, whether they're employees, students, customers, or patients, produce better results. This is what your clients need to understand. So investing in well-being equals better outcomes, which is in turn means financial gains. And then you tailor your message. One of the most important steps is communicating biophilic design's value and is tailor your message to a specific interest of your audience. So if you have different stakeholders, you have to talk differently. For instance, when speaking to a corporate client, emphasize the financial impact. Like, for instance, you're going to see increased productivity and reduced turnover. These are the metrics you can measure in dollars and cents, for instance. But if you're presenting to a school board, you want to focus more on the benefits for students, such as an improved academy performance and enhanced engagement. And you will say something like, biophilic classrooms have been shown to improve test scores by 5 to 15%, which is directly tied to funding and school reputation. So this way of communicating increases the likelihood of buying because you are addressing exactly what matters to them. After that, you present real-world examples. Nothing drives a point home like a good case study. When communicating the value of biophilic design, use real-world examples to illustrate the tangible benefits. The clients want to know the following. Has this worked for others? Will it work for me? And that's the best thing to do. There are many case studies out there, so use that as a way to convince your clients. And finally, when pitching biophilic design to stakeholders, be prepared to address any potential concerns, especially about costs. Some clients may talk the upfront investment in biophilic elements, worried that it may be too expensive. And here's how you can counter that. Explain that while the initial costs may be higher, yes, the long-term savings and returns far outweigh them. Use the data we've discussed to show how energy savings through natural lighting, reduced turnover, and increases productivity will provide significant returns over time. You could say something like, yeah, okay, biophilic elements might cost much more upfront, but you will recoup that investment in a few years through higher employee performance and lower energy bills. So clients need to understand that biophilic design is not a cost, but an investment. This is a paradigm shift. Unlike any investment, it delivers returns that are measurable, predictable, and tied directly to financial performance. What kinds, for example, of cost concerns have you encountered when pitching biophilic design? Has anyone already done that? I would love to know that. Well, in summary, communicating the economic and well-being case to stakeholders requires more than just talking about aesthetics. It's about providing data, as we've seen, real-world examples, and a clear path to return on investment. By tailoring your message to your audience, leading with the financial benefits and having a nice story with a nice storytelling, you're going to make a compelling case for biophilic design. And this is a great and smart investment. And ultimately, you're showing them that biophilic design is the intersection where great design meets business performance. And now let's go to some case studies to show you how you could integrate that in your information when pitching for a project. So, for example, the ING Bank in Amsterdam's headquarters, here's a summary of the quantitative and qualitative benefits observed at this bank through the implementation of biophilic design. So an increased productivity of 10 to 15%, reduced absenteeism of 10%, energy savings, and higher employee satisfaction and well-being. This is something that has been stated, that we have papers about this, and it's something you can use to showcase to your customers. On the quantitative data, they improved work environments, so employees reported a more relaxing and welcoming atmosphere, which supports better performance. Also, alignment with corporate culture. ING's commitment to sustainability and employee well-being is strengthened by incorporating biophilic design. And employees and clients perceive the company as innovative and environmentally responsible, enhancing brand reputation. And thirdly, on the qualitative data, talent attraction and retention. The biophilic office environment is an attractive factor for prospective talent seeking healthier workspaces. It also aids in retaining current staff, as employees value the company's commitment to their well-being and feel more connected to the workplace. So, for instance, these findings demonstrate that biophilic design at ING Bank not only enhances the work environment and employee satisfaction, but also brings long-term financial benefits. This is the Roger Aldrich Hospital study by Galvedere Surgery Recovery. So Roger Aldrich's influential study on biophilic design in healthcare environments revealed several key outcomes related to patients' recovery and well-being. Here are some of the significant findings. First of all, faster recovery times. Secondly, reduced pain medication, lower stress levels, and improved mood and satisfaction. We have another example of the Glumac office in Shanghai. The Glumac office in Shanghai incorporated biophilic design principles, and studies conducted there highlighted several positive outcomes related to employee well-being and productivity. So first of all, increased in productivity, also reduced stress, improved air quality, and higher employee satisfaction. So all these results show that biophilic design can play a significant role in promoting a healthier, more productive, and satisfying work environment. I have another example. I have a few more. The Kickstarter headquartered in Brooklyn, New York. This is a corporate office, and the impact of incorporating biophilic design elements like an indoor garden helped Kickstarter boost employee satisfaction and reduce absenteeism, showing the correlation between biophilic design and a healthier, more engaged workforce. You can find all this data in Therapy in Bright Green information. Here are some quantitative findings related to the impact of biophilic design at Maggie's centers in the UK. First of all, stress reduction. Maggie's Leeds Center in UK is a center, clinic for healing cancer. So people come here when they're hearing that they have cancer, and they get into these spaces to get healed or to have that transition to something worse. So these spaces are provoking stress reduction. They also have pain management, so reduction in perceiving pain is lower. This is great for such spaces. The social interaction and support is increased by 30%, as you can see. And also satisfaction scores. Patient satisfaction in biophilic spaces like this one from Maggie's centers is reported to be from 15 to 20% higher than in conventional hospital settings. So these metrics illustrate the measurable benefits of biophilic design in improving patient well-being and satisfaction in supportive care settings. Another example is the LL Bean store Freeport in Maine. This store incorporates biophilic design features that have shown measurable impact on customer experience and sales. Here is a summary of the outcomes. Extended dwell time, so more time is spent in the store. Increased sales. It correlates with a 12% increase in average sale per customer. Higher customer satisfaction. Improved brand loyalty. So this example, it really illustrates how biophilic design in retail can enhance customer satisfaction, increase dwell time, and drive sales by creating a more inviting, nature-infused shopping experience. And finally, this project is an example of a home designed with biophilic principles from Habitarmonia studio, where gathering quantitative data on health and well-being presented unique challenges. To address this, we engaged in a collaborative, co-creative process with our clients. We conducted surveys, including health and well-being assessments and personality analysis, to ensure that design truly aligned with their needs. In our unique approach, we also took them into the forest to strengthen their connection with nature, enriching their understanding and engagement with the design vision. With one of the occupants experiencing high stress, stress reduction became the key goal alongside general well-being for this project. And we crafted a space that was not only aesthetically pleasing, but also maximized the healing impact. So to achieve this, we employed a unifying palette of colors, natural wood flooring, natural materials, and added extra windows, including operable ones to enhance airflow and bring nature indoors, etc., etc. Special attention was given also to making the space welcoming for children, ensuring that it felt both inviting and nurturing for all ages. So throughout the design, our aim was to create a home that went beyond beauty to deliver a meaningful healing experience, tailored precisely to the intended spatial functions. And this collaborative, health-centered approach resulted in a successful project that was honored as a finalist of the Stephen Keller Awards, recognizing the transformative and therapeutic impact of homes and designs. And now we're heading to the time of the Q&A. So if you have any more if you need any more information about the courses that we're doing or our global platform where we advance globally all different philosophies on biophilic and well-being design, just make a picture of these QR codes, or if you're more interested in anything else, you can send me an email to this email address here. So I would say I end up the presentation right now, and I would love to, I'm ready for a Q&A session.
Thank you. Thank you so very much for this fruitful session that we had. We definitely learned a lot of keywords. I mean, at least the takeaway of this, meeting would be getting to know some keywords regarding biophilic design. If you agree, we would love to have like a 5 minutes break so that we can have a short summary of what you mentioned in Persian to our audience. And then we would love to receive their questions, categorize them, and after 5 minutes, we would have the Q&A session, if that's all right with you.
Perfect. So I will come to that new link, I suppose.
That would be a good idea as well. We can have the Q&A in the other room.
Link is still working. Thank you very much, Nuria, for your valuable and wonderful presentation.
Okay.
I think that still, I don't know why, but maybe because we have reserved the link before, so still it is working. So if you do agree, still we stay in the same link, and as soon as it is, become finished, so we may receive some alerts, so then we move to the next link.
Okay. So do I need to get out and get in, or just
as you wish?
Close my
it's
window?
Your choice. We would love to have you, but
I will stay here. Okay.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
خیلی ممنونم از همگی دوستان. الان 5 دقیقه فرصت هست برای اینکه شما اگر سوالی دارید چه به فارسی چه به انگلیسی میتونید در چت باکس قرار بدید یا به پشتیبان ارسال بکنید. ما سعی می‌کنیم که تمام این سوالات رو دسته‌بندی کنیم و بعد از 5 دقیقه بخش سوال و جواب رو داشته باشیم، پرسش و پاسخ رو در واقع داشته باشیم. اگر که یک جنبندی کلی بخوایم از جلسه داشته باشیم میتونیم اینطور اشاره بکنیم که جلسه به چند بخش، در واقع جلسه پرزنتیشن خانم آرسه به چند بخش تقسیم شده بود که در بخش اول اینتروداکشن خودشون، هابیتارمونیا و در واقع آکادمی که دارن روش کار میکنن و شما هم اگر دوست داشته باشید میتونید به کورس هایی که دارن در حوزه بایوفیلیک برگزار میکنن دسترسی داشته باشید. موضوع دیگری که بهش اشاره کردن در واقع اکوسیستمی بودش که در اون مشاوره هایی به افرادی که حالا بیزنس اونر هستن، صاحبان برند و شرکت ها هستن و میخوان که معماری بایوفیلیک و طراحی بایوفیلیک رو وارد محیط خودشون بکنن، در واقع مشاوره هایی رو ارائه میکنن. در بخش دوم با بخش پیشینه و در واقع تاریخچه رو داشتیم از اینکه در واقع روند زندگی انسان چقدر امروزه نسبت به طبیعت این ارتباطش قطع شده. مواردی رو که دکتر اختیاری اشاره کرده بودن باز مجددا در بخش اول شنیدیم که در واقع کلمه بایوفیلیا ریشش از کجا هست، از اینکه اون عشق به زندگیه و اون ارتباطی هستش که از طریق ارتباط با طبیعت ما این عشق به زندگی رو میتونیم دریافت بکنیم و بالاتر ببریم. قطعاً که خیلی جزئیات دیگری هم در هر بخش اشاره شده و من سعی می‌کنم توی این 5 دقیقه در واقع بتونم تمام بحث ها رو پوشش بدم. در بحث بعدی در رابطه با این صحبت کردیم که حالا داریم راجع به بایوفیلیا بحث میکنیم و راجبش میدونیم چه تأثیراتی اصلا میتونه بر روان ما و بر در واقع اقتصاد که موضوع اصلی ما هست داشته باشه. ارائه ایشون به چند دسته مختلف تقسیم شده، به چند بخش مختلف. ما اول در واقع تأثیر معماری بایوفیلیک رو بر اداره ها داشتیم و در هر کدوم از بخش ها 2 دسته تاثیر رو بررسی کردیم. یک بحث سلامت و اون سلامت روانی بودش که بر افرادی که دارن از اون فضا استفاده میکنن یا به طور کلی در واقع محل کارشون هست چه تاثیراتی میتونه داشته باشه و چه تاثیرات اقتصادی میتونه روی اون شرکت و روی اون برند داشته باشه. در بخش اول که در رابطه با ادارات بود صحبت کردن، به این اشاره کردن که وقتی که ما داریم معماری بایوفیلیک رو وارد اون طراحی فضاهامون میکنیم، تأثیری که میبینیم این هستش که بازخورد و عملکرد افرادی که در اون اداره کار میکنن بسیار بالاتر هست. افراد میتونن در واقع خروجی های بهتری رو داشته باشن، به این جهت که میتونن در واقع استرس کمتری رو داشته باشن، میتونن تمرکز بالاتری رو داشته باشن، خستگی کمتری رو تجربه بکنن و در نتیجه عملکردشون بالاتر خواهد رفت. این میشه در واقع اون تأثیری که بر سلامت روانشون داره که به طور مستقیم یا غیر مستقیم میتونه بر خروجی اون شرکت و اون اداره تاثیرگذار باشه. از این جهت که میتونه وقتی که عملکرد بالاتر میره در نتیجه فروش بیشتری در اون اداره اتفاق میفته، در واقع کارها سریعتر و بهتر و مؤثرتر جلو میرن و افرادی که در اون اداره دارن کار میکنن و کارمندان در واقع در فضای خوشایندتری دارن کار میکنن، در نتیجه رضایت شغلی بالاتری خواهند داشت و طولانی مدت‌تر میتونن در یک شرکتی در واقع فعالیت بکنن. فضای بعدی که راجبش صحبت شد فضاهای آموزشی یا مدارس بود که تاثیرش بر سلامت روان چه برای در واقع اساتید و معلم‌ها و چه برای دانشجوها دانش آموزان این هستش که استرسشون کمتره، در واقع میتونن وقتی استرسشون کمتره توجهشون بالاتر هست، میتونن بهتر یاد بگیرن، یادگیری بهتری داشته باشن. در نتیجه اینها میتونن نمرات بهتری رو کسب بکنن و در واقع چه تأثیری برای اون مدرسه یا دانشگاه خواهد داشت، میتونن فارغ التحصیلان بهتری رو و خروجی های بهتری رو به جامعه ارائه بکنن و در نتیجه این میتونن یک شهرت بهتری رو در بین همه باشن. بحث بعدی در واقع فضای بعدی که مورد بررسی قرار گرفته بود فضاهای فروش بود. حالا فروش در واقع لباس یا در واقع هر استور یا بازاری که میتونیم در نظر بگیریم رو بررسی کردن و این بخش به نظر شخصی من یکی از پیک های این ارائه بود و در رابطه با این صحبت کردن که افرادی که به عنوان خریدار وارد این فضاها میشن، وارد این مغازه ها میشن، مدت زمان طولانی تری رو در اون فضا میگذرونن و خیلی در واقع سرعت راه رفتنشون در فضا هم کمتره و این باعث میشه توجه بیشتری به اجناس بکنن و در نتیجه بتونن محصولات بیشتری رو شاید بتونیم بگیم خریداری بکنن و تاثیرش بر اون فروشگاه و بیزنس این خواهد بود که خروجی‌های بیشتری خواهند داشت، فروش بیشتری خواهند داشت و سهام بیشتری رو، سود بیشتری رو در واقع دریافت خواهند کرد و شهرت بیشتری رو دریافت می‌کنند. مورد بعدی در واقع فضاهای درمانی بود که بیمارستان ها در واقع مثالش بود که در رابطه با این صحبت کردن که در فضاهای بیمارستان زمانی که طراحی بایوفیلیک وارد میشه درمان و پروسه درمان سریعتر اتفاق میفته، استرس در واقع افرادی که در اون فضا هستن کمتره چون میدونیم که فضای بیمارستان میتونه فضای متشنجی هم باشه و مورد بعدی این که در نتیجه افرادی که در واقع دارن از اون فضا استفاده میکنن، حالا چه جزء کادر درمان هستن چه جزء بیماران هستن، حضور داشته باشن، بیماران مدت زمان کمتری رو بگذرونن، باز هم به شهرت در واقع اون بیمارستان میتونه کمک بکنه. مورد بعدی در واقع فضاهای مهمانپذیر بود مثل هتل ها. فضا در واقع تاثیراتش مشابه موارد دیگه هست. افرادی که اونجا در واقع کار میکنن، کارمند اون هتل هستن یا دارن از اون فضاها استفاده میکنن، ترجیح میدن که مدت زمان بیشتری رو اونجا بگذرونن. در نتیجه در واقع اون هتل یا اون مهمانسرا میتونه در واقع هزینه بیشتری رو برای اتاقاش دریافت بکنه. رضایتمندی افرادی که از اونجا استفاده میکنن بالاتر خواهد بود. در نتیجه برندشون و شهرتشون در واقع بزرگتر و بزرگتر خواهد شد. و در مورد آخر موردی بودش که در رابطه با کامیونیتی ها، جاهایی که در واقع ما فعالیت های گروهی داریم، اگر که ما بیایم و طراحی بایوفیلیک رو وارد بکنیم خیلی به نظر من جالب و جذابه که میتونه در واقع نرخ جنایات رو در واقع کاهش بده، اون کرایم ریتی رو که اشاره کردم میتونه کاهش بده، در نتیجه امنیت بالاتری در اون فضاها حس میشه و همچنین در واقع باعث میشه که افراد احساس بهتری در اون فضا داشته باشن، بتونن در واقع یک برابری رو اونجا احساس بکنن و انعطاف پذیری بیشتری در اون فضاها داشته باشن، فضا کمتر متشنج بشه و در مجموع این دسته‌بندی هایی بودش که برای طراحی بایوفیلیک ارائه کردن. و در مورد آخر، در بخش آخر بحث به این سمت رفتش که حالا ما همه این خوبی ها رو میدونیم، با درصد و عددها و سلامت روانمون راجبش صحبت کردیم، حالا چطوری میتونیم در بیزنس ازش استفاده بکنیم و به بقیه افرادی که در واقع اونها صاحبان شرکت ها هستن بخوایم طراحی بایوفیلیک رو پرزنت بکنیم. ایشون اشاره کردن که بستگی داره که ما با چه مخاطبی روبرو هستیم. اگر که مخاطب ما بیشتر به این سمت داره میره که دنبال عدد و ارقام باشه، پس ما با عدد و ارقام باهاشون صحبت میکنیم. ارقامی که بهش اشاره کردن به طور مثال مثلا 20% استرس کمتر یا به طور مثال 129% فروش بیشتر، این عدد و ارقام رو بهشون ارائه میکنیم. در بخش دوم اگر که دیدیم که مخاطبمون مخاطبی هستش که سلامت روان براش ارزشمنده، در نتیجه ما میتونیم در رابطه با تاثیراتی که بر سلامت روان ما این طراحی ها میتونه داشته باشه در واقع صحبت بکنیم. پس در نتیجه بحث این که ما با کدوم شروع بکنیم و چه اطلاعاتی رو در واقع اینجا داشته باشیم، بحث اینه که ما مخاطبمون رو بشناسیم، شاید مجبور بشیم پیاممون رو جوری ببافیم که از هر دو بخش بخوایم صحبت بکنیم و در نتیجه و در نهایت هم اشاره کردن که این رو حتما باید در ذهن خودمون داشته باشیم که شاید هزینه ابتدایی در واقع ارائه این طراحی یا ورود این طراحی به فضاهای ما زیاد باشه تا حدی، اما باید این رو در نظر بگیریم که در طولانی مدت چه تاثیرات و خروجی هایی چه بر سلامت روان ما و چه تاثیراتی بر اقتصاد ما میتونه داشته باشه. و در نهایت در بخش آخر هم مثال های عینی که در این سالها اجرا شده در بیمارستان ها، در مغازه ها و فروشگاه ها و در بانک هایی که وجود داشت ارائه کردن و فضای آخری هم که اشاره کردن فضایی بودش که خود هابیتارمونیا روش کار کرده بود و به نظرم جمله کلیدی در بخش آخر این بودش که دنبال یک خانه‌ای بودن که فراتر از زیبایی باشه و در واقع اون المان هایی از معماری بایوفیلیک رو که وارد این فضای خانه کرده بودن. دوستان عزیز فکر می‌کنم که اگر که سوالی بوده باشه در چت باکس هست، اگر نه لطفاً قرار بدین که ما بتونیم در واقع پرسش و پاسخ رو شروع بکنیم.
سلام غفاری هستم. مینو، خوشوقتم از آشنایی با همگی و ممنونم که این فرصت رو به من دادید. از اساتید محترم و دستاندرکاران خیلی تشکر میکنم. Bueno, excúsame señora Muñoz, porque bueno, yo tenía una pregunta que quería darlo a usted. Que tenía mencionado muchísimas cosas buenas que son positivas sobre la utilización de este tipo de arquitectura. Mi pregunta era que ¿por qué no lo utilizamos ahora tanto que tenemos que hacer? Porque como usted ha dicho, hay muchísimas buenas cosas, como se dice, tenemos ventajas. Pero mi pregunta es que no lo vemos tanto que yo pensaba, no se existe en el mundo, no lo podemos ver tanto. Mi pregunta era que ¿por qué lo existe? ¿Cuáles son los problemas, las luchas que ahora tenemos contra utilizar este tipo de arquitectura más y más?
Gracias, Mino. Gracias por esa pregunta. I don't know if I have to switch to English. I guess yes. I will translate the question and I will thank you. Muchas gracias, Mino Kafari.
Muchísimas gracias.
So her question was about why don't we see that, seeing all these benefits that are there, why don't we see that in this in the actual architecture nowadays? So first of all, because actually you've seen the story of the disconnection that I wanted to state at the beginning. So we have been starting to disconnect from nature, and certainly the last 200 years there has been a greater disconnection. We started to get into that consumerism way of living. We started to create fabrics, industries, big spaces to create, to consume. And this was led to creating spaces where we could live next to these big fabrics where they were creating or producing things. And it had to go fast. So they started to look at, first of all, was that. So it had to go fast, and this consuming philosophy and way of living has adopted more and more and more. That was one of them. Another one is that, as I also mentioned, that anciently, in the ancient way of living, we were connected to nature, and we had actually biophilic design. It's not that we didn't have. Think about Mesopotamia or the Babylonian gardens. All this was already connected to nature. What happened? Again, the same thing. We have gone into that industrialization, and everything has been industrialized. So even architecture has brought that industrial way of creating. And whenever before we had spaces which were connected to the outside, which were meant for health and well-being, that has been abandoned. And the new modernism has brought new ways of creating, and we have just stepped out of that way of biophilia. So that's simply said what's happening nowadays. What makes that is that with that disconnection, we are not being aware that actually our spaces are making us sick. And we see that it's being really critical moment right now, that we're having more stress levels, more mental diseases, more, and all what the planet is going through, climate change, loss of biodiversity, etc., etc. This biophilic design as itself started around 30 years ago as a philosophy. And as you know, it's a mix. It's a multidisciplinary philosophy, which we use anthropology, biology, environmental psychology, neuroscience, economics. Many disciplines are all together. So it's not as simple as putting plants and putting a green wall out there. It is a much more in-depth project, and it's tailor-made or spatial-made. So I hope I answered your question. That's the reason why.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
I wanted to add a very small section to it. Are there any financial reasons that we aren't using it as much as we want to? Are there any problems stopping us from doing it that are more based on financial struggles or lack of foundation in different areas and sections?
Well, it's also a very good question. Well, the fact that we are not using something to add to the previous question you added, it's that biophilic design is not known yet. We are really at that. I don't know if you're aware of when we're launching a service or a product that has a curve, and it's called the launching curve. So we are at the launching curve, and it's not yet a norm. We're at the very first beginning. We're early adopters. So with our early adoption, we need a lot of advocatism. We need to educate people. So that's why it's not so known yet. There are some misconceptions about biophilic design. People think that it's much more expensive. Well, I must say, and this is what I've seen with my colleagues and the people I know worldwide, it comes to the fact that it takes a bit longer to create a design of biophilic design because there is much more research involved. So this is time. Time is money. For the moment, we're collecting data, and there is nothing like an AI which can collect so much data that we know, okay, this is tailor-made to you. Every single case is specific, and we have to see it that way. So the time for the design concept is longer. This makes that time is money, and it's a bit more expensive at this moment. But I can also say that the ways to apply biophilic design have different budgets. We can do the same effect and create the same benefit with different budgets for a simple pattern, for one simple pattern. So yes, there is a misconception that it's much more expensive, but we only are seeing at one part of the whole thing. As I explained before, it's not only about how much it costs now, it's an investment for the long term. If you think about the well-being that you're going to create, the happiness, the feelings, and also the return on investment you're going to create in the long term, it's something which is valuable. Yet, there is, as I said, a lot of work to do, and that's why my mission is to spread the word all around the world. This is so important, since we see those measurements and those data coming out, and I think we need to have more of the labs around the globe, universities, and all disciplines working together to get this as a norm out there. So thank you, Mino, for that question again.
Thank you very much. Muchísimas gracias por su explicación y pues hasta luego. Espero que podamos
hasta luego.
En el futuro también. Gracias.
Gracias, Mino. Salam.
So there is also another question that we've been struggling a little bit to understand the difference and differentiating these two.
Oh, I will.
I'm sorry, I think I got disconnected. Can you hear me now? Is that all right now? Okay, so as I was saying, as architecture students, we've already been familiar with the term organic architecture. So now the question is, because we see that they share similarities like organic architecture and biophilic design. What's the actual difference between these two areas of study?
Okay, good question. Well, when you're using organic, you're talking about sustainable organic materials and organic like biomimicry, like using shapes which are organic shapes. Okay, yeah. Biophilic design goes deeper, which the aim of biophilic design is the following: is to reconnect people with nature. So that's the thing behind, and also work on the health and well-being of people on the planet. Okay, so that's the aim. It's not only creating aesthetic spaces and not organic spaces, but it goes farther. I could even say more. I don't know if you're aware of what regenerative design is. Regenerative design. So we have sustainable, and sustainability is do not harm. Okay, do not harm is okay. We're not harming the planet. We're just using sustainable products. What is regenerative design? That is a design which is going to regenerate the planet. So regenerate the biodiversity, regenerate the people, their health, their well-being, make people happier, etc. So we go from not harming to a positive effect on the planet and on the people. So biophilic design, because of all these benefits and all this relationship with biophilia, it's the door, let's say, like the gate to that regenerative design. It's making people connect with nature, have that love for slower living, less consumism. Once you have that connection, you start to have other type of solutions for architecture, for design. You're thinking more on reusing, recycling, etc., etc. So it's a broader concept than just organic design or eco design. Thank you for your question.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that question. I'm not in the research activities of biophilic design. I'm connecting all the different, I'm doing charrettes actually. I'm consulting on that and educating on that. And of course, I know how they're doing it, but I'm not the one doing the research itself. So I'm not putting EEGs to people to have measurements and tangible data. But it is very varied. It's it's as we talked. It's not. Their benefits are many. You can have psychological, cognitive, sociological. So there are many aspects that you have to take into account. For instance, how we do it at homes, because we don't have all these EEGs to take to a family, would be very costly to go with MRI and all this all these technical things to a home. What we do is analyze data like how do they feel now and how did they feel after. What is for them to feel good? How are they connecting themselves with nature? How all these more subjective questions. That's a survey that we do around 100 questions on that, and we have a pre-test, a pre-survey, and a post-occupancy test after 6 months, and that's where we measure both data. There is a lot that we can do research on, as you've seen. Taking into account the KPIs already, those are giving us also some information about what can we measure as well. So it's not only on a health and well-being part, but in many other aspects of the design. I don't know if I answered your question. I know that I could go deeper than that, but it's quite a very holistic view of data. So within your architecture, you're seeing a different aspects. We're doing like different data, so it's the same. And the extra fact that we're using is that biophilia, that nature connectedness. You're welcome.
دکتر بفرمایید.
Okay, it seems that I should wrap up the whole seminar. Thank you. Personally, I would like to thank you very much for giving us your valuable time and the interesting and wonderful presentation. I'm quite sure that it is very useful for all who participate. In the meantime, I would like also to ask the organizers for organizing this event. I mean, they are like busy for the last couple of weeks, just organizing, doing these stuffs. We would like to have the meeting, the hybrid version, but today the whole room become very cold. So what has happened is that the gas was just shut down the university because of because of this eco-friendly, have this eco-friendly idea. I hope that's because of that. And then what has happened is that we could not have the hybrid version, so we just go to the virtual one. I'm very happy that everything goes smoothly. I would like also to thank everybody for the very nice questions that brings about. I would like to also add that is a very good presentation, because this is very important for the architects and landscape, either the landscape architects or designers, industrial designers, or everybody else, to communicate and connect with their owners and either business or the clients. And the important thing about this presentation is that less numbers says everything. Because when you just say that, you see, this is a very good project because I feel that it is good, aesthetically it is good, and I believe that it brings about a very good feelings. Maybe they don't understand it, but when you put it like science-oriented, evidence-based, they get to know that, because, okay, you see, this is like 25% more productive, that we make the place like that, or you can acquire or hunting more talents, let's say. So these numbers, these ideas, everybody may understand better, so you can better communicate. I disagree with the idea of selling the idea, because we as architects doesn't sell idea. So I think that we promote the life to better life. So this is another thing. And one more thing that I think that also Nuria do agree is that let's use this opportunity also to make or promote a bigger idea. I think that these ideas, you just focus on the human-centered part of the biophilic effects. Blue pale dot, our Earth. So by biophilic also, I do hope that sometime we talk about biodiversity. How, because as I mentioned, we are not the only actors. Flora and fauna, wetlands, plants, animals, everybody live in this planet, and everybody have their own rights. So by biophilic, directly and indirectly, we just not connect or just put everything on the human benefits, but this is also important. We should see how biophilic design affect and influence other actors. So I do believe, maybe, as you mentioned, we are at the prime of a journey to connect better people with the planet. But as time passes and progress, I do hope that we just come here and talk about, you see, what we do is that is good for ants. This is good for bees. And indirectly, they can also connect and have their impacts on our life. Also, I wanted to use this opportunity to make a bigger immediacy. But okay, at the end of the day, business is business and economy is economy. And indirectly, we are connected. Sorry that takes a long time. I guess as a time frame, we have 2 or 3 more minutes, and maybe we can have your comment on that, and then we can wrap up the powerful presentation.
Thank you, Dr. Kaveh Fattahi. Yes, I completely agree with you. We are nature. That's something that I always say. It's not nature out there. We are also nature. So we are connected and interconnected with everything. And one of the first things that we have to ask when we're doing a project would be, or think about, is that nature sits at the same table as us. So these are one of the stakeholders is nature. If we are looking at it that way, then we're talking as you do. Of course, I had to bring a lot of data on that increased biodiversity, etc., but I did mention a little bit on the environmental part of it. So there will be more data coming on that. And we see amazing results by having that reconnection, and that's something we do in our courses. We change paradigm of the architects and the designers. We change their mindset on how to design. They get more, I would say, more connected to themselves and to nature, and they start seeing the things from another point of view, which is also part of that biophilic design journey. So I really agree with you. We should create spaces for ants and birds and trees, and we should have more respect for each other. Completely right. I'm on the same level, thinking the same way as you do. And so if there are any more questions, that's my message to all of you. Just go outside much more. Try to go a few times a day and make some walks mindfully. Take a look at nature and appreciate it. And you will start looking at biophilia from another perspective. Thank you.
Thank you so much to all of you. And thank you so much for putting the time and energy and, the wonderful presentation that we definitely learned something from. خیلی ممنون از همگی که تا این لحظه همراه ما بودین. امیدوارم که جلسه خیلی خوبی رو گذرونده باشید و در واقع حداقل با یه سری کلمات، با یه سری اصطلاحات حداقلش آشنا شده باشیم. این اولین نشست از سری نشست‌های پندار پیکر پیرامون خواهد بود، ولی آخریش نیست قطعاً و انشالله که بتونیم شما رو همراه خودمون داشته باشیم. امیدوارم که بقیه روزتون رو به خوبی ادامه بدین. با اجازه همگی، خدا نگهدار.
See you soon, hopefully, maybe here in Iran or there in Spain. Have a nice time.